Oh, baby, I love you way. Every day, I want to stream with you night and day. What's going on, Mike?
Every day.
Every day, I want to bang my daughter Ivanka all the way.
We're not even 20 seconds in. He's already talking about banging Ivanka.
It's disgusting.
What's something, Mr. Trump, that you and your daughter have in common?
Well, I wasn't going to say it, but I was going to say sex.
They're like, oh. Now, Eric, was that The View, or was that like the View rip-off that they went on?
That might have been one of the rip-offs of The View, but they were on the View at one point where he was talking about, if she wasn't my daughter, we'd probably be dating, that kind of thing.
She's one of the great, and a lot of people don't see this or know this, or they should know this, but one of the great beauties is Ivanka Trump. Ivanka Trump.
Oh, I know.
The Howard Stern one, those are, if anyone if you ever get a chance, I don't even know are they even still available? Has Howard completely scrubbed those or sent those to the DNC server, or like where?
No, you can get those.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're still around.
I mean, I'd love to see that projected at like a mega church in Idaho. Like his greatest. We love Mr. Trump. He's a godly man. Ivanka's legs are great, and we don't know about the breast yet, but we'll see. Just contrast it to like the revivals, I
know.
And I think I'm being unfairly attacked, Eric, probably because I'm a Christian.
Unbelievable.
Remember when he said that?
Of course I do. So, everyone watching, thanks for tuning in here to Jackman Radio, and this is a special night. It's exciting. It's been a long time coming, dude. Tonight's our first stream and broadcast where we're monetized. Our channel finally was accepted into the YouTube Partners Program, and we're monetized, and we can accept super chats now, which is really exciting. I had people saying, "Oh, you should monetize your channel. You should do super chat. Why are you doing that? What it's like, bro, you got no idea." So this process started. The review started back in like July, and we got word, I don't know, 3 days ago, maybe even yesterday, a day or two ago, that they finally agreed and accepted it, and we're monetized now. So it's obviously a great step. We've been working hard to grow this channel. It's not easy with everything that's going on, man. But Mike, we should feel really excited about this.
Yeah, I'm in a very celebratory mood. I'm Post Malone dropped off some Bud Lights earlier, and we got matching facial tattoos. My beard is actually a tattoo. It's done so well. My entire beard is actually a Post Malone inspired tattoo. So Bud Light.
It's incredible. It's incredible.
So what's going on in the world besides Nicki Minaj being the leader of the resistance?
Dude, Nicki Minaj is friggin' the based queen that we didn't know we needed or existed.
I know. I've always been a fan of her song, The Night Is Still Young. That's a good tune.
Yeah, I didn't realize that was her until you told me that the other night.
Yeah, she's like, my cousin's balls are still young.
Oh, my
God. His balls are still young. She's worried that they're not going to be if a certain Mexican beer goes in them,
Yeah, we got to do what Dawson does. Yeah, so that's another funny thing. So obviously, Mike and I have we have a lot of friends in alternative media who have been monetized and demonetized, and back and forth, up and down. And they're like, "Hey, congratulations, but also my condolences as soon as you get demonetized." Who said that was Nico. Nico House sent me. He wrote a nice message to me on Instagram. And he said, hey, congrats to you guys. And then he said something like, my condolences, ahead of time for you being demonetized for something stupid.
Well, thank you, Nico. I cheers to that. I also cheers to you getting that new gig with YT America. I watched your
RT.
We're YT now, YouTube. Yeah, this is only my second beer too, guys.
Not young Turks either.
Not young Turks. No,
we're not young cucks.
Not young cucks. But I saw Nico do a broadcast down at the Capitol for the Glowy Gala that we're having down there with all the feds celebrating 1A and 2A. It's incredible.
Oh, the J6, Justice for January 6th?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, it was just a glowy confab. Oh, did you see all the glowies?
It's like, they got the same haircuts, the same boots, the same watches.
Oh.
They surrounded at one point, there's footage, they surrounded one dude, and they're like, are you undercover? He's like, I'm just here for the protests. You know, like he's like Antifa or something. It's like, okay, yeah, all right. Yeah, he got his pay stub there. So they were going through his stuff, and they could see a badge.
Dude,
you could clearly see like a gold badge, and they surround him.
They didn't cuff him or anything.
No, they walk him out.
from one glowy to another. We'll get you out of here safe, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
So we did. History was made tonight, Mike, by the One American Podcast. Chase Geyser, our very, very first super chat.
We love you, Chase. Thank you.
Mountain Dew. I'll drink my Mountain Dew to you.
Yeah, because you're dry right now. What's your Eric's sober right now for a month, or this has been an interesting year for your on and off sobriety.
Yeah. So earlier in the year, I took 3 months off, and then my friend Alicia is doing a hard 75, which is insane, to do. Like, just it's insane discipline and drive, and it's just I'm in awe of it. And we were talking about it, and I told her, hey, to help you get through your last 30 days of the 75, I won't drink for 30 days. That's easy to do. And so yeah, that's what I'm doing. And the 30 days will be up the day of our birthday party on October 9th. And those details are those are like the nuclear secrets, the details of the birthday party. We gave them to the Fed that got detained. Yeah, the Glowy has them.
Steve Poikkinen's on the chat. Hello to Slow the News Day. And Steve informs us that Ford Fisher got that footage. I think that's probably the footage I saw was Ford's. He does a lot of good. He does a lot of good on the ground work. I think he's been on with Jason Burmis before. But thank you for that update, Steve. I hope you're doing well.
Yeah. Let me just again thank Chase Geyser for being our first super chat. And folks, if you're watching, you want to ask Mike and I a question, you want to comment to show up, you want to put in a request for an impersonation, or just have your musings shared, drop us some love in the super chat. We've been working hard to build this channel up in our podcast. We also have a Patreon page, patreon.com/Jackman Radio. And that money is just used to keep the channel going, to build it up, to travel. We just put on a huge comedy special back in, we filmed it in July, and, obviously setting that thing up and doing it independently when you're just an independent artist, podcasting, doing comedy. We don't have any corporations behind us. We don't have any Saudi princes yet, but if he's like, Russia, if you're listening, could you find the other 30,000 missing emails? But yeah, Russia, if you're listening, if there's any weird oligarchs over there who want to invest in two big boys doing a podcast.
Or if there's a Saudi prince who you want to come clean, about the connection 9/11 and the hijackers, you have a cousin who happened to fund a couple of them, and you want to come to America, you could become the third Mike. You just got to give us, like $100 billion, and we can talk.
Yeah, I mean, not even necessarily that much, but oh, this is nice. I get a lot of comments about my shirt. Eric, the cowboy shirt is killer. Rhinestone rock, brah. Like a rhinestone cowboy.
Yeah, you got some Western influences going on. I think you were deeply touched by our trip to Texas in 2019. I was,
man. I enjoyed Texas, and I have a flair for kind of like, outlaw country, the Highwaymen, Johnny Cash, Glenn Campbell, the Maverick. Yeah, this shirt is me ripping off Raul Malo from the Mavericks and Chris Isaac. And Roy Orbison to an extent.
Yeah. Definitely. People definitely like cowboy lace, they like it.
Yeah. Steve said, I'm subbed to this channel. I never got a notification, and YouTube says half the amount of people are watching when I click on the page. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, everyone be sure to subscribe. I don't know what kind of reindeer games the Deep State's playing there with our YouTube, but we'll be watching that in real time.
That was interesting seeing Tulsi use the phrase "deep state," and she had a couple of pretty marquee Fox News appearances this week.
A couple of big hits, dude, for Base the Mohawk Queen.
Like back to back, dude.
Kicking it off with Tucker, dude, fresh off her friggin' deployment to Africa.
She reached that friggin' CPAP customer base, AARP base, dude, hard. Like 55 plus, like based,
Yeah.
Which I never, going back to the Iraq War and the build up to that, and just last 20 years, Fox News is horrible. It's ghoulish, but yet they have some of the best segments now, which I have no explanation for it.
Yeah, well, they're fun. I mean, it's just like what Shane Gillis talked about in his special. What was the bit kind of called? Fox News Dad?
Yeah, Fox News Dad. He's like, you don't want to have a Fox News mom, but Fox News.
Yeah, well, Fox News Dad is like the movie we watched with Lance Henriksen last night.
Oh, yeah, Falling. That was a really good movie.
That was Viggo Mortensen's, I believe, his directorial debut.
I think so. So Viggo directed and he wrote that. And that's actually, a lot of that story is based on his own experience. And he took care of his own ailing father like the last year of his life. And a lot of it mirrored what happened in the movie. So really well done movie. We met Viggo back in, I want to say, 2006 or 2007 in Manchester when he was campaigning for Dennis Kucinich. And he was cool. It was cool to see him speak, man. And this is when Lord of the Rings was still pretty hot, and he was wearing a jacket at the event. And then towards the end, when he had the media's attention and the crowd was full, he ripped open his jacket and it said "Impeach Bush now," which was nice. Which was awesome. And he supported Jill Stein in 2016, so I give him a lot of love and props for that as well.
Yeah, and we got this nice message from D. D says, "Congrats, guys." D, thank you so much. And then,
thank you, D.
Boy, isn't that something, Mike?
Oh, Hinkley. Oh.
Temple granted.
Doesn't she have some kind of New Hampshire connection?
She's connected to Pierce. I think she either went to Franklin Pierce or she's an esteemed alumni or she's spoken at a bunch of graduations. But Hinkley's saying that because she wears these kind of shirts because she's basically a spokesperson for ivermectin. She's into horses.
Oh, good.
No.
Good.
No. She's not a spokesperson for ivermectin. Yeah,
could it be that the horse that killed Christopher Reeve was on ivermectin? That's a new theory. I want to float that by some people.
Oh my God!
I don't know if that's the case, folks. I'm just asking questions, folks. I don't know if that's the case. It could be though.
Temple Grandin is an American scientist and animal behaviorist. She's a prominent proponent for the humane treatment of livestock for slaughter and the author of more than 60 scientific papers on animal behavior. She's a consultant to the livestock industry where she offers advice on animal behavior and is also an autism spokesperson.
Yeah, spoke at Keene State here in New Hampshire where Franklin Pierce, or she's been in the area.
So, dude, her alma mater is Franklin Pierce. I was right. She got her undergraduate degree from Franklin Pierce.
Okay.
So that's her connection. And, of course, Franklin Pierce is where Hinkley and I went. I'm class of 09, and I think Hinkley's got a couple degrees from Pierce. He got his undergrad and his MBA from there.
You're credentialed, Hinkley.
Yeah, Hinkley, you're credentialed.
Hinkley enjoyed the suite last night, the craft suite at Fenway Park, which that's the only way to go. If I'm going to get this at Fenway Park again, it's not going to be in the grandstand. It's going to be on a motorized couch, or they're going to have to remove a couple seats on the Monster so I can fit my ass up there. But I hope it was a good time, Hinkley. I hope you had a good time, man. Well deserved, man. Well deserved. Cheers. And I heard the Bob Kraft hired the Rolling Stones, and they played at Gillette this past week on Monday.
Wow, really? The Stones were at Gillette?
Well, not Charlie Watts, but the other ones. Yeah, unfortunately.
For a private gig?
Cheers to Charlie, by the way. Huge, very influential drummer on myself. Yeah.
Wow. God, you had me roaring. Well, our buddy who's been on the podcast before, he was at Fenway, 2 nights ago?
Oh, yeah, Patty.
For the Mets, a little interleague play. And his sister, he let his sister order she ordered the tickets and dealt with it, and he knew right there that was a fatal error because when you're a big boy, there's certain parts of Fenway you won't be able to sit. And Patty's like, 6'2"?
Yeah, he's 6'2".
6'2", just a big, he's a former football player. He's a big boy.
He's a heavyweight.
And these were grandstand seats, I believe.
Yeah.
And not good. Not good. So he had to end up, he tried to sit in them. And like you say, Mike, when you sit at a booth in a restaurant, what do you say when you go into the booth to test it?
I'm silent for a couple seconds. I just go, I'm living a lie. I can't do this. my gut's hanging over, or it's like it cut into my gut, or my legs are up, or it's bad. And we're going to be 35 soon. And I think with age comes the point where you preempt. You talk to the host, or if you call ahead for reservations, you say, hey, we got a couple of big boys coming. We need big boy seating. So,
right.
If it's a booth scenario and it's not like Cadillac, then just get me a chair at the end of it. We'll be fine.
Right. But yeah, so Patty ended up, he's just like, nope, this isn't going to work. So he ended up sitting or standing, back where there's some standing spots. But I definitely feel his pain. But I was very blessed. I went to Fenway the end of July with a close, dear friend. And we were front row right near the batter's on deck circle for the Red Sox, first base line. And we were on TV a bunch of times, and that was an epic night because the Sox basically hit an in the park home run. It was ruled a triple with an error, but I'm going to call it an in the park home run anyways. And it was a hell of a game. And I was just drinking. What was I drinking?
And
those were
Magic
or UFOs, I think. And there was like, depending on how far into the game it was. People saw me. There's like, Eric, there was like 4 or 5 empties in front of you.
Tall boys, right? Yeah.
Tall boys, yeah. And I was like, hey, man, my boy comped the whole night. He treated, man. He got the tickets and paid for all the beers. And he had a bunch of hot dogs. And I think I had a sausage. And, wow, it was fun. We got another super chat from P1 Dizzy. Hey, guys, love your work. Can I get the Donald talking to Ryan D. or Julia? Say hi to Mom also. F. Ghislaine Maxwell.
Thank you, P1 Dizzy. Was P1 Dizzy the fellow we met at our comedy show who actually came in person, or he's watched the special, or? Yeah,
I don't know if that's him or.
But I've seen P1 Dizzy. I've seen your name on a lot of our stuff, and I want to say I appreciate your support.
Oh, she says I'm a woman, but
I'm sorry, I didn't know that.
Well, yeah. Thank you. We appreciate you watching and being a fan and subscribing and tuning in. And of course, we can get the Donald talking to Ryan. Look, Ryan is somebody who's super based. He doesn't care about PC culture or wokeness. He's been battling the deep state and the criminal cabal for a long, long time, and he does a great work. Sometimes he says some very nice things about me. And sometimes he says some not so very nice things about me. But overall, we love Ryan. He's a great guy. And The Four Horsemen's one of the best shows ever. He does a great job with The Four Horsemen. Somebody just better get him a comb, okay?
Well, I was going to say, P1 Dizzy, that, Ryan reminded me of the scene in Edward Scissorhands where he's eating the Jell-O. And his hair is kind of going all over. And he looks a little bit like Robert Smith from The Cure. In the last Four Horsemen, I think admittedly he would tell you the same thing. So it's a very nice young man with a nice haircut who does a really great job fighting against you-know-who.
We love you, Dawson.
Yeah. P1 Dizzy.
Dawson would just be like, who can't you criticize? Whoever you can't criticize.
I'm a woman like Caitlin.
I'm a Mornon. What's the Mornon? No, that wasn't Mrs. Doubtfire. That was Julia Child, but it's very similar.
Well, Mrs. Doubtfire's like, can you make me a woman?
Oh, Daniel.
Mrs. Doubtfire is one of the great. It is one of the great films of the last 30 years. I think Chris Columbus directed that. He went on to do the Harry Potter films, and they were going to do Mrs. Doubtfire too, but I don't really know how that works. Like, does Mrs. Doubtfire move to California and run to be governor against Larry Elder and Gavin Newsom, or I don't know. I'm not sure.
Gavin Newsom, that friggin' wine merchant psychopath.
Yeah, we knew he was going to get back in there. They brought out the big guns too. Soros sent, $500,000. Joe Biden flew out there. They got the crate from Indiana Jones and Raiders of the Lost Ark. Biden got out of the crate. When at the end there, they put him in the crate. He got out of the crate, campaigned for Newsom. They put him back in the crate with some straw, brought him back to the museum. He's been there ever since.
Infowars.com. He's always with us, Mike, isn't he?
He is. Julia Child was, in fact, glowy. She used to hide transmitters in turkey and ducks' anal cavities to record certain things overseas for her country during the OSS era, which is the precursor to the CIA. So it's Very fascinating. Very, very fascinating.
Melon head. Something tells me, Mike, we haven't seen the last of Larry Elder and Caitlin.
No, I think Elder even said like this is just the beginning.
I'm here. Are you here for that, Mike? For Larry Elder?
Yeah. Yeah. Why not?
It's incredible.
At least it'll be entertaining. I mean, I read a piece in Politico. A gal wrote about Elder. She went on he was talking about a piece that she wrote and saying how he vehemently disagreed with it and he thought it was horrible and this and that. Kind of raked her over the coals. And then she ended up calling in and talking to him. And then he invited her to come on the show. And she went on the show in between segments when they were off air. He was like, oh, by the way, I agree with you. I agree with this piece, but that wouldn't sell. We have to argue. So it just kind of it just shows you it's just a game. It's just acting. Yeah. A lot of it's just acting, and it's a feigned outrage machine that just makes money, and it's good for ratings. You know,
he's a lot of fun though, Mike. Larry Elder.
He is. Yeah, he's based too.
Yeah, he's super based. Look who popped in from Vermont.
Who popped in?
I just put it up. Sean Keneally.
Hey.
This is
cousin
great.
Sean.
Love you guys. Our cousin Sean, he lives up in that socialist communist cesspit, Burlington, Vermont, where that loser from Brooklyn, Bernie Sanders.
Excuse me, Donald. Excuse me. I'd like to. Can I interject?
Go ahead, Bernie. Go ahead.
I've been attacked so much that it's hard to even start. I don't even know where to start. What I will say is the first job I got, I was 40 years old. It was 1981. I became mayor of Burlington. I finally had, I was making 30 grand a year. I didn't have to wear loafers and underwear from the second hand. And that's my policy going forward. That's why people should vote for me.
Bernie Sanders, no one has been screwed that bad by the Clintons since Monica Lewinsky, quite frankly, okay?
And they showed in the WikiLeaks, we love the WikiLeaks. Got to have the WikiLeaks.
I love WikiLeaks.
They showed that, Wasserman Schultz and everybody, at the DNC in the 2016 election and the run-up to it did their damnedest to make sure that Bernie did not get it, and they screwed him over. I mean, that's been shown. That's never been debunked. Donna Brazile even had to cop to it that they gave Hillary the questions and the sides before the debates. And so if I were a Bernie Sanders supporter, I'd be pretty disenchanted too. Yeah.
Jose says, did you guys see the recent Tim Pool cast with Alex Jones? Oh, that sounds great. It was epic. Tim had no control of the agenda. It went all over the place like Biden's dementia. InfoWars, Tim, you got to get rid of that hat. That hat is just, it's a terrible hat. It's hiding so much. It's hiding a lot of things up there. InfoWars.com. Emmerich, Mike?
He's life.
We need him.
I like that he's kind of reinvented himself as like a satirist, comedy.
He's a stand-up now, Mike.
He's funnier than anyone who has their own Netflix special. I mean, dude, give him a Netflix special. Netflix would see the numbers. It'd be like Tiger King on steroids.
Oh, he needs to be in the new Tiger King. Dude, when he freebased that ivermectin on air like a couple weeks ago.
You saw that?
Oh, he's the soul of the age, dude.
That was incredible.
Yeah, Emmerich is, what is it?
I'm going to show you guys right now what this looks like, okay? He was like ripping it up. He was like, and he was just like, that's it right there, folks. I feel good. I feel strong. I feel vital. I mixed that with some chili. I went down to Tractor Trailer Supply. I got my helicopter. I brought Rex up there. We shot some caribou. I harassed my ex. It was a great time. I'm just loving life right now, folks. I'm loving life.
This is a stock right out of Joe Rogan's private stash, folks.
This item is Fort Knox.
Right now, go to Infowars.com, type in promo code Joe Rogan, get 20% off ivermectin from Russia. Oh. Yeah, Steve said Jones went on Andrew Schultz's podcast back in May. That was fucking phenomenal, too. Flagrant 1 or Flagrant 2?
Flagrant 2. He's done 2 appearances on there. They're both definitely worth watching. Oh.
Got hammered and realized calling himself a comedian was the way forward. It's so true, Steve. He did. Oh, and he is a comedian, man. And to look at him as anything else, to actually be like worked up over Alex Jones is ridiculous. You know what I mean, Mike?
Yeah, now at this point, I mean, he wasn't always like a household name. Not everybody knew who he was,
Yeah, he's like Freddie, though, Mike. in Santa.
Yeah, he's like Freddy in Santa Claus. Everybody knows who he is.
Emmerich's reached critical mass. I mean, when he had a Trump on InfoWars.
I'll never let you down. I hear you do a great job, and you're going to be very happy with what you see, and I will never let you down.
He's like, you have a tremendous reputation, and I'll never let you down.
Yeah, don't think that Roger Stone didn't know what he was doing, dude, playing that.
Oh, God, it was just so good.
That piped in there, you know?
I know. Emmerich's life, Mike.
Yeah, he's the soul of the age.
I'm missing American Rust right now.
I'll be back next weekend.
Okay.
It's
a great show. I'm liking it, dude.
You know, we know there's something in there. We'll find it. Hey, I'll be right back.
Yeah, so American Rust is it's a show we're watching right now. It's on I think it's on Amazon where you can get it, and it's Jeff Daniels. He plays a sheriff of a small town, and it's kind of, I don't want to call it boilerplate, but I mean, like Mary of Easttown comes to mind, which was a show with Kate Winslet where she plays like a detective for a small town. It's in Pennsylvania. So like Pennsylvania, Rust Belt, Keystone, Rolling Rock, Wawa subs are all trending right now. And if you can get some kind of mix of those in your show and have it be part of the routine, I think your show will do really well. But yeah, really liking that show. And I was telling someone that Jeff Daniels is he's got some range as an actor, which is pretty interesting. You know, he obviously, a lot of people know him for Dumb and Dumber. You know, one of his most popular roles with Jim Carrey there. But yeah, he can do dramatic pretty good too. So I've been watching that. We just watched last night The Ides of March with George Clooney, where he plays like a robot type candidate. Kind of reminded me a lot of John Edwards and Bill Clinton mixed together. And he plays a governor of, everything goes back to Pennsylvania. He plays a governor of Pennsylvania, and he is running for president in the Democratic primary, and it's down to him in the last two, him and another candidate. And Ryan Gosling plays this Machiavelli type campaign manager, and Paul Giamatti's in it too. And Paul Giamatti, man, he's deplorable. He's disgusting, but you always root for him. You root for his characters in the movies, no matter how deplorable or also how hideous they are. And Ides of March was good. You know, it was just a good political movie. It's kind of the classic tale. Politician bangs the intern. Intern gets pregnant, has to abort the baby. Ryan Gosling leads the cover-up, uses the abortion as leverage to get Philip Seymour Hoffman off the campaign team, and he gets his job, and he runs the. You know, I basically just told you the whole movie.
That's like a Tuesday night in American politics, though. Now at this point,
pretty much.
You know,
look, I wanted Trump to go down there, and I knew he was going to get some goblin slime on him, some goblin piss. My goblin piss.
Oh, he's going to fall into a goblin nest. Going to get some goblin slime on him. I just don't expect him to get in bed with an actual goblin.
God,
like Horseface there.
Yeah.
But no, you mentioned Mayor of Easttown, and one of the cameramen, Cameron Mitchell, on our special, who actually shot our Live at the Legion special, also worked on behind the scenes, worked on the show Mayor of Easttown. They were just nominated for an Emmy. So, cheers to them. So,
wow, that's awesome.
There's some people we work with, folks. Somehow we get canceled one week. The next week we're working with people from Mayor of Easttown. So
Infowars.com.
Infowars.com.
But yeah, no, congratulations to you, Cameron. And Cameron just wrapped a movie with Bruce Campbell, filming a Christmas movie for I think it's Hallmark or Lifetime, or they just finished it. It's going to be ready by like mid-November for air. So, you know, what those productions do is they rent like an Airbnb or like a small inn, and they put some masking tape on the floor where the actors need to stand, and you know, it's basically like a holiday mumblecore movie, you know. And they film those and they churn those out, man, like you wouldn't believe, like you wouldn't believe it.
We have people calling like you wouldn't believe, quite frankly.
But yeah, you were talking about Jeff Daniels too. We watched the Comey Rule, man. That was so fucking bad.
Oh,
that was about. It's like an Aaron Sorkin-esque like neo-lib stroke fest. It was gross.
Oh, could you imagine being that miserable?
Oh, and they try to paint these FBI people who are working with Comey as like these heroes, not these friggin' grifting, lying, like, you know, mechanics that they actually are. Like, you know, you're getting Jeff Daniels to play James Comey, you should get the fucking Geico Gecko. You know, that's who they should have got to play him.
Yeah.
They tried to like paint him as like this hero. It's like it's him and Robert Mueller. Like they're like heroes. It's like
they're not heroes, Mike.
That would have worked better as like a 1980s, early 90s episode of The Twilight Zone or something, or Outer Limits. You know, I don't know.
Right.
It was bad. We stuck through it though.
He's like, I like people who weren't captured.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
I know. Did you see the interview Bill Gates did with Judy Woodruff on PBS?
So I know that he did an interview. I haven't had a chance to look at it yet, but did you watch it?
Not all of it, but there's a clip that's like 2 minutes that everybody here needs to watch, because it's where Judy Woodruff asked him about a certain suicided in New York City jail cell in summer of 2019 who had a jet in his own temple. His association with him, and he was like, "I regret doing that." He's like smirking. He's like, she's like, "So you know that he, was charged, but you were still hanging out with him. He was charged with soliciting a minor. You knew this. I mean, anybody who had Google or Microsoft would be able to look that up. I had dinners with him. I regret that." That's like all they could say, dude. It was almost as cringe as the Prince Andrew one. It was like, dude, it was up there, man. It was up there. Up there, dude.
I don't sweat. I don't sweat. There's a reason that little Bill Gates named his company Microsoft, folks. We know what he's talking about. We got the documents, folks. We got the pictures. We got the X-rays. Ivermectin.Russia, Infowars.com.
Let me see if I can find the clip and I'll drop it in the chat. Yeah, I got it right here.
Oh,
I'll drop it in the chat. It's just like a quick minute and a half. Like,
yeah, I mean, Gates still hung out and rolled with Epstein. They all did after they knew about it. I mean, clearly they're part of it. Clearly they are.
So, yeah, well, the whole thing with the divorce with Melinda goes back a few years, and supposedly what it is she kind of caught wind or had more information about his association with him. Like, I think he was just trying to, he's like, he's a cool guy. I want to introduce me to some of his friends. Even though I had billions of dollars, I don't really have any friends.
Oh, yeah, who would be friends with that fucking dweeb?
Friends? Have you seen the guy?
You seen the guy? Oh, fucking dweeb, dude. Let's see. Gates is literally wringing his hands and then pivots to, well, he's dead now.
He's dead, and we're really proud of the work that the foundation's done. I get up every morning, and philanthropy drives me.
He has his own Netflix series made after him where he's like sitting there like writing, drinking Cokes. We're supposed to think he's like a great writer or something, or just like this great person. And
yeah,
it's a sell job. He's a robot alien, very clearly.
He's writing the last great American novel out in his hut there with his Diet Cokes. Yeah. He thinks he's fucking Ernest Hemingway or something.
The thing is, none of these billionaires have the panache that Trump has, and no amount of money or media campaigns they would never be able to go in front of a crowd of 30,000 rabid NASCAR fans and do what he does. And
no one can do what he does, Mike.
No, he bends reality, dude, like Neo.
And what are his rallies a mix of?
They're like a tent revival meets monster truck meets world wrestling, SmackDown meets Triumph of the Will. It's all those things. And then
Joel Osteen.
Yep.
Like Lakewood Mega Church.
Yeah. Oh, totally. But it's entertaining though too.
Oh yeah, and we've been to a bunch of them. They are a lot of fun, Mike.
Lady Gaga.
Talk
about that clip, Eric, and how that gets you through the days.
Oh. Yeah, there's just a clip that emerged from one of his last speeches before the election. I think he was in Pennsylvania, and it's only a second long, Mike. And our boy Kevin Walter DM'd it to me on Instagram, and it's just him at the podium going, "Lady Gaga," and it just kind of sums everything up about Trump and his presidency and kind of where we're at culturally, Mike.
Yeah, the pop culture zeitgeist. That also shows that he's hip, dude. I got the TikTok and the. I got the Nicki Minaj and the TikTok and the Lady Gaga.
Yeah, Lady Gaga.
It's all those things,
So, yeah, I use that as strength and fuel when I go and work out with Megan twice a week. and it's one of the memes that kind of keeps us going and that inspires us. You know, I'll put up some weight and then I'll put it down, and I'll just be like, Lady Gaga.
Yeah, and actually, a lot of our viewers and your fans have commented that you're clean shaven for the first time in a long time. You actually cut some Trump videos last night. We did a Trump one that we just put on our Jackman Radio YouTube page, I think, right? Yeah,
loaded up on YouTube. And well, what happened was our friend Mary and Brian Paul, their good friend, his birthday was yesterday. I think for the last 2 years I've done a video, either a Trump impression or a Trump video for his birthday, and they reminded me yesterday and said, could you record one for him? His name's Witter, and he lives out in Portland, Oregon. So they gave us all funny stuff to incorporate in the message, and I'm like, you know what? Not only am I going to do Trump for him for his birthday, I'm going to put the wig on because I'm shaving, like you said. I haven't shaved since June. Those were my last 2 big Trump gigs. I had a corporate gig and I played for a 60th birthday party, and I was like, oh, I just had enough of this beard. I was starting to look like ISIS K, you know? And the K stands for kids, Mike. ISIS Kids.
Oh, okay. Is that like a Gap line that's being launched by Les Wexner, or like what?
Yeah, well, ISIS Kid also kids, and the kids that we killed in the Biden's drone strike there that killed all those kids.
Or the kids in the cages.
ISIS Kids in Cages and Clubs of Kids in Cages and Kids Are Us, okay? That's a new clothing line that Wexner's running. But so we made the birthday video, and then I'm like, since I'm in costume here and I put the fucking tie on and the wig and the jacket, I'm just going to start cutting some videos for some people. And you know, we just randomly cut videos for people, and you did some Biden. It was great.
Fun. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, we're going to do more of that. We're going to do more impressions. We hope with the super chats and with any kind of income we get through this. Like Eric said earlier, we're going to put this back into Jackman Radio. We're going to put it back into production value, events. And we want to do more skits. We haven't done skits in a long time, but we have a lot of great ideas, you know, past and present, that we would like to, you know, see, you know, political humor, but also pop culture stuff, just a mixture. And we're always open to requests and recommendations, you know, you would like to see come to life. You know, this really is the Matrix. I mean, we're here, dude. We are now in Pete Clown World officially.
Oh yeah, we're living in Pete Clown World. Let's see. Varen says Tulsi Gabbard 2024. Yeah, I was talking to my friend earlier. Yeah, she's really the only person I could really get excited about for president. Again, I mean, I want Trump. Obviously, we want the king. We want the king to run a Trump primary, even if a couple goofballs challenge Trump. We need that, Mike. We just need another primary of him, just cause, you know.
Oh, it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Thanks for having Sean Stone on. Yeah, what a cool guy Sean Stone is, dude. Wasn't that a great chat?
That was many months in the making, and I'm so glad we could put that together finally. And Sean, thanks for coming on. Hopefully, we'll have you on again. He's been in the game a long time, and he's a very unique firsthand perspective of inside the Hollywood scene. And I would say throughout the 80s, his father, you know, would characterize himself mostly as an independent filmmaker, trying to get his films produced and fundraise for them. But also, man, he had deals with, like, I think Warner Brothers and the French company there, La Canal, and so he had a front row seat to all of that.
Yeah, Sean Stone has led a very interesting life, and he does have an interesting perspective, and it's unlike any that I've ever really heard before. So it's been great to connect with him, and I've been watching his series, The Best Kept Secret, and I recommend everyone check that out for sure.
Yeah, you're a couple episodes into that, right?
I am. Steve says, don't sell yourself short, Eric. You were looking like ISIS GQ, baby boy.
Right.
ISIS G.
Not ISIS K, ISIS GQ.
ISIS GQ.
How about the Taliban dude in the mansion, like living it up, dude? Like Beverly Hills.
Forget it. It is fucking Taliban boy summer. Okay, into fall. It's Taliban boy fall right now.
Taliban.
Dude, they're loving life right now. You know, all they had to do, they just waited out the empire for 20 years, and boom.
Well, they did it to the English. They did it to the Russians. Now they did it to us, and Yeah, that's what can you say about that? Some numbers have the hardware, what, 80 billion in hardware?
Yeah, they're now one of the most formidable ground forces and like militia. I don't know. I'd call them a army, whatever you want to call them. They got some great equipment, man. Joker's like, you should know, you paid for it.
It wasn't cheap. You
Was
should
it
know.
cheap? You should know.
American taxpayers, you paid for it.
Yeah. God, it's so good, Mike.
The Taliban's like, by the way, do you want to know how I got these scars?
Oh my God.
And in a lot of ways, I've defeated 2 empires, so I know them better than you know them.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
it's I hope that there's some lessons to be learned in this, and obviously we use comedy and satire, but it is really sad. It's a really, really sad thing to see in a sad state of affairs. But it has been the whole 2 decades, and it's great people are talking about it, but they're not going to be talking about it much longer, like the general public at large, because the media will not be. Once the media stops talking about it, you're not going to hear about it. People aren't going to care. It's sad, but yeah, probably no lessons learned. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like I said on 9/11, the group that hosted the group that attacked us on 9/11 are now partying in the mansions, balling out, with our RPGs, balling out in helicopters and shit, just having the time of their lives, Mike, with tanks in the mansions, swimming in the pools, just being the Taliban, living their best lives.
Just doing their thing. Yeah. I mean, hopefully if they got grills and they can have, cheeseburgers, they can listen. Maybe we left them some good music there. I know our troops like to listen to Disturbed and Drowning Pool and, Marilyn Manson when they're getting fired up,
Yeah. Luke Bryan.
Yep.
Yeah. They would probably burn Luke Bryan stuff though, if they had that, which they should. I would support that.
Right.
I would definitely lead a effort to burn any kind of Luke Bryan music that's being played over there for sure.
Yeah, and I hear New Hampshire. I think we're getting like 100 to 200 Afghan refugees coming in that have been,
Oh, really?
Has talked about that they've been vetted and checked, and we left a lot of fucking people high and dry too, man. A lot of people that worked with us, that fought with us. Translators, people who didn't agree with the Taliban or what was going on. But it's a mess.
Fire Pixie, thank you for the $5 super chat. I want to hear Dr. Fauci, Alan Dershowitz, and Woody. I mean, it's all the same impression. Having lunch together.
Here's Dr. Fauci. I am science, and if you question me, you're questioning science. Cuomo.
Oh, God.
And Dershowitz is like, I got a massage, but she was an old, 35-year-old Ukrainian Russian lady, and I kept my pants on.
Oh.
And then Woody Allen's just like, come here, Susan Lee. Come here. Come here, Susan Lee. Let me shoot you from this angle. Your underwear on.
Oh.
I don't know. Is that good, Fire Pixie?
Boy, that went away with Woody Allen with that documentary that Mia Farrow they made.
Yeah.
Dude, he was able to bury that.
Yeah.
They buried that.
Alan Dershowitz and Woody Allen, both friends with Jeffrey Epstein. Just saying.
Good God.
We have the documents.
How about when all the cucks, though, did the podcasts, and then Fauci comes in, they're all like, hi, Dr. Fauci.
Dude, they couldn't get,
they couldn't ball gag quick enough. They couldn't get the gag in quick enough, Mike. He's just like, let me tell you, we are living in peak clown world.
I know.
Good God.
I love the Rand Paul versus Fauci videos. We draw strength from that. Like Rand's cute.
Rand is so cute.
He's like a Pinterest / quarantine lockdown project that you work on, like a homemade doll that they put the finishing touches on. But it's school project.
But it actually came to life, right?
Oh, it's like Pinocchio did come to life, and it went to the hearings to question the deep state.
And his Raggedy Ann hair, I think Rand's hair is cute.
Yeah, he's adorable.
Yeah, that is my real hair. Ask my mom, Carol.
Carol's adorable too. Mrs. Dr. Rand Paul, she's adorable too.
Yeah,
we got to hang out with her and Ron Paul in Ron's office back in summer of 2011 when the Boston Bruins won the Stanley Cup.
That's right.
The next day we showed up at Congressman Ron Paul's office down in D.C., knocked on the door, we were welcomed in, and we hung out for like 15 minutes with Dr. Ron Paul and his wife Carol, and it was surreal. And he's just as genuine and real and warm as what you see during the debates and what you've seen on TV for people who pay attention to him the last, 15 years or 30 years, really, even longer than that.
Yeah. How about Michael Douglas, Mike?
Well, I never flew on, the plane because I was always busy making movies with Sharon Stone and Meryl Streep and other people where, of course, I had marital problems, and we all do. I lived in the suburbs in a very kind of yuppie setting. I made $400,000 a year, but it never seemed to be enough to fill the hole in my soul or keep my wife's lower regions happy. So she had to bang the mailman, and I let out some of my aggression during the squash tournament at the corporate grill. I had the salmon. The girl I was with had the Caesar salad. I gave her my hotel room. She comes to my hotel. We had sex, consensual sex. 2 hours later, my wife stabs her in the eye with a corkscrew.
Oh, my God. And now Michael Douglas is in Ant-Man, right? And what is that process like, Michael?
Well, I get in the green screen. I go in front of the green screen. There's heated pads. Paul Rudd's there massaging my buttocks, and they de-age my balls.
Oh.
And we have a lot of fun.
Oh.
We have a lot of fun. And I on that note, I will be right back.
Yeah, the Michael Douglas impression, Mike had kind of always done it, but he never really did it publicly. And at our comedy special, Jackman Radio Live from the Legion, we had him busted out. And God, it was funny. It went over really well. It's one of my favorites. I love these impressions and the two Trumps, priceless. Well, you could say it's priceless. It's also worth super chats. So keep those super chats coming. We love them. I have immense legal bills to pay and legal fees to pay from that phony witch hunt from the Steele dossier, okay, that the deep state and Fusion GPS cooked up with Crooked Hillary and John McCain and all those losers. And you know what, John McCain, he's not a war hero, all right? I like people who weren't captured, okay? He's not a war hero. But thank you. We do. Impressions are what we're known for. And I think it's the highest form of flattery. If the Jackman brothers have an impersonation of you, you're obviously an interesting, worthwhile, and worthy subject to be I would say, I mean, it's a lot of people say it's an honor. So I would say it's an honor, Auntie Annie's watching, laughing. Glad you're enjoying it. Watch The Kaminsky Method. I heard of that, but I haven't seen it. I'll check it out, though. I like your Jesse, the entire interview in that fabulous historic bar. Oh yeah, Jesse Ventura. That was one of the coolest things I've ever done, interviewing Jesse Ventura in a bar. I rented out the bar at the Nighthawk Cinema in Brooklyn, in New York City. My cousin is the director of programming there, and Ventura was promoting his Jesse Ventura, My Marijuana Manifesto book. It's all about marijuana and how the founders grew hemp, and they were high, and they were writing things on hemp paper, amazing stuff. But yeah, I got to interview Jesse for an hour, and God, it was so cool. What a cool guy he is. He's led a very interesting life, and he's always someone in politics that I'll always be fascinated with and definitely look up to. You know, Mike?
Oh, definitely. Annie. Hello, Annie.
Hey, man. Yeah, hey, man.
Thank you to Auntie Annie for all of her support over the years, our entire life. The Jackman Radio Endeavor. She's one of our Patreons, one of our patrons on Patreon. Big supporter of our art, has come out to numerous Trump shows and always supported us. And she's a twin like us. So
yeah, the original Jackman twins.
She's funny and based.
Oh, it's just so much fun.
Super talented. And hey, we got someone from Denmark watching. Hello, Denmark. Oh, yeah, hello. Who's from Denmark, Eric, that we can riff on? Is Mads from Denmark?
Mads Mikkelsen. Will Graham, Dr. Graham.
Dr. Graham, do you love me? Can I bite you?
Good God. That was beast.
I got a scenario, Super Chef.
Isn't that nice, Mike? My Pookies are the best.
You're the best.
So good. Dude, Fire Pixie coming up huge with them super chats. Yeah, this could be good, Mike. Do you want to do Ventura? I'll do Trump.
Well, hey, Donald, it's been a long time since we've seen each other, hasn't it?
I would say it's been a few years, Jesse, and a lot of things have changed since the last time we were together. I know that you were governor and I was president.
Excuse me. Don't call me Jesse. It's governor when you talk to me.
Okay.
Don't call me Jesse. That's so disrespectful. You tried to enter my world with Vince McMahon, with the Battle of the Billionaires. That was awful. But I understand it now when I see why all those people voted for you at the MAGA rallies. Because when you body slammed Vince McMahon, that was amazing.
I did. It was one of the highest rated wrestling events to ever happen. The Battle of the Billionaires was classic, okay? And I took Vince McMahon down, and I took him down big, just like I took down the Deep State and Crooked Hillary, that awful, disgusting, child baby slurping demon Hillary Clinton, okay? She's a total monster.
Okay, I agree with that, Donald. But you didn't take down the Deep State, my ass. Where are the Kennedy files?
We did. No, we did. We took them down.
Excuse me.
We did. We took them down.
Where are the Kennedy files you promised me, Donald? You promised me
the
Kennedy files. Where are they?
Excuse me, Jesse. I was going to release the Kennedy files, but Rosie O'Donnell ate them. Okay.
Why did you hire John Bolton and Elliot Abrams?
I don't know those people. I have no idea who you're talking about.
They are the biggest swamp creatures you could imagine. And I got shut out from MSNBC. I got kicked out of Trump Tower when I tried to raise these questions. Why you were in Building 7 and nobody knows about it.
It was a terrible day. A terrible day.
Thank you, Fire Pixie. We could put together a whole script. You know, if we get enough people who want to, they want to see this all dressed up. And the Biden, we're working on the Biden impression. People seem to be responding. That's a tough one, though.
Yeah.
That's a tough one.
I love how they love their mom. I love my mom. My mom's a sweetheart.
I love all my family, including Hunter. Hunter's daddy's favorite.
Oh.
Hunter, you want to come down to the Senate bath with Uncle Johnny McCain and Auntie Lindsey Graham?
Oh.
You want to come down and learn how to write legislation and perform a pocket veto?
Oh.
With me and Larry Craig and Craig Spence and Larry King?
Oh.
All those good people?
Good God.
Come on, man. Give me a look. Give me and Barney Frank a look, folks. What do you say?
P1 Dizzy says, check your Venmo, boys. All right, let me do it.
Thank you, P1 Dizzy, for all of your support. And for everybody, this has been such a fun first monetized live stream. And, I would say that this is probably more informative, more entertaining, and more real than any of those whores you're going to see on the talking mainstream media who are just lying to you. They're just going to tell you, they're going to lie to you.
P1 Dizzy just Venmoed us $100. Bless you.
What? Get out of here.
She said, happy birthday. And let me read the message. Wow. I'm taken so blown away right now. Happy birthday to you both. # we are Ryan Dawson. All right. Wow. Thank you so much.
I know you're not a male P1 Dizzy.
Thank you. That's very, very generous of you. And you just, quite frankly, you made my whole night. And I just want to take that money and I want to go over to Russia and get some beautiful Russian women. So
anytime you want me to dress up as Jesse Ventura wearing a jockstrap, you got it. You got it. You got the rainbow. I'll wear rainbow.
Lock her up.
Lock her up.
Lock her up.
But he didn't lock her up, though. He didn't.
Yeah.
He didn't.
Oh, Mike, now's your time to shine, Mike.
Do you have a Ryan Dawson impersonation? Yeah, we're working on it, So Ziad Jarrah was on Flight 93. Allegedly, he was the pilot of Flight 93. And he had 2 cousins in the Mossad. First cousins, like their daddies or brothers. Their mothers are sisters. Their daddies are brothers. So Ziad Jarrah is a pilot. His parents are wealthy. He had money. He had a girlfriend. Muhammad Ali was upset that Jarrah had a girlfriend, so he wasn't really sure that he could be the hijacker. So they were talking about some other 20th hijackers. It's all there. It's in my movie. It's like 17 hours. Nobody wants to watch it because the fucking kook movement.
talking about thermite missiles at the Pentagon. I don't know. That's
Yeah, we're gonna get a bell. We're gonna ring a bell.
Yeah, we're gonna do the Dawson impression round.
You know what the thing is? It's a kook movement. The only thing they got right was the date.
Yeah. We're gonna work on that Southern accent a little bit. I know.
Yeah.
We're a couple of Yankees.
We can get Dawson down.
We spent some time in the Carolinas, and I thought it was endearing when we were in North and South Carolina, and they called us Yankees. Remember that?
Yeah, of course. We have Waffle House.
Y'all a bunch of hush puppies. Y'all a bunch of hush puppies from Boston, you damn Yankees. But they were nice about it, though.
Rainakawa. We know who that is. He needs more slight Southern accent. We'll work on it, Mike.
Southern accent by way of Japan.
Yeah. He's like, and der. Dude, when how fucking based is it when he goes on Press TV?
I know.
Dude, Brian Dawson on Press TV is everything.
It's incredible. It is.
You gotta be a level of based, Mike, to go on there and do what he does.
I know. And cheers to you, Ryan. We saw you on Atwood. Thank you very much for plugging the Four Horsemen and promoting Jackman Radio. And you're right. There are still people who believe in freedom of speech, and if enough Americans come together and demand that Julian Assange, be released, and email, call, send letters to your members of Congress, that is how it's done. If there's enough pressure on them, the media starts to pay attention to it. I mean, look at this stuff that came up with the 9/11 anniversary with Saudi Arabia. Anyone who's been in the know has been talking about this for years, but there was so much pressure on Biden to start to release some of these files. About Bayumi, of course, that's pretty low tier stuff, but it's something. It's moving the needle a little bit. So they were saying, don't bother coming to the 9/11 anniversary events unless you start to push for the declassification and release of these documents. So that just shows you that public outcry and pressure can have an impact for real.
Right. And I forgot this part of the Dawson impression. Bless your heart. I think that's the Southern Belle thing, Mike.
Well, if they're like, it depends if they're like, oh, bless your heart. That's genuine, but they're like, bless your heart. They're being like, F off. It's like a dig, but in a nice way. And
Dawson, Mike, he's the son of Southern nobility in Dixie.
He is. Oh, he is.
He's antebellum. He's the son of Southern nobility.
Yeah, he's all those things.
He's a level of base, dude. That is. It's hard. It's hard to put into words, Mike, how based he is.
It's where you arrive after a couple of decades of looking into this stuff, but still maintaining a sense of humor, which is important. But yeah, no, for sure. And I'm glad that more people are seeing his work, and his 9/11 documentaries are very important. And, I would recommend them to anybody.
Our question:
where can you even find those?
Well, ancreport.com. They're on there. Can Ryan dance like Rena? Dude, I'd love to see Ryan dance. What did Sam Tripoli say about the urban movers, Mike? The dancing Israelis?
I don't know. What were they doing? The cha-cha or the Macarena? Like, what kind of dance were they doing? They were high-fiving, and then Scott DiCarlo pulled me.
Macarena. Hey, we're the Mossad.
Hey, Dominic Suter.
Yeah. Hey, it's the Mossad.
Did you see that lame gray zone piece?
Yeah,
trying to debunk all that. I want Dawson's take on that next time we talk to him.
We should do a video about that with him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Steve says, "Hey man, email me and let's get you on Rockfin." Yep, Steve, I gave Dawson your email, and he's in receipt of it. So, whatever happens now is between you guys, two beautiful, amazing, consenting men. It's up to you guys.
That's a nice thing when California can come together with Dixie. And they have a lot in common, quite frankly. And it's not just redwoods.
Good God. Let's see. Raina, the information gathering stage is done. The dissemination phase of 9/11 is what we need. Yeah, it's part of what we're doing.
Who is the gal in the Raina photo? I want to know. Is that like an actual gal in Japan that Dawson knows that he can introduce us to? Or
I don't know.
I'm not sure about that. I mean, I did, Ryan. I married my masseuse. You know that. We both know that. I married her. I take her for helicopter rides. I haven't thrown her out of the helicopter yet, like the Good Shepherd. You ever see that scene, The Good Shepherd? Where Matt Damon has to kill his son's lover. Throws right out of there.
Oh God!
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, that's dark, dude. Yeah, The Good Shepherd. I mean, it's a pretty good movie, but that's pure propaganda.
Yeah, De Niro had wanted to he wanted to make that movie for a while, and he ran a lot of it by, agency sources, and they took umbrage with certain things, and there were certain things that they threw in there that was kind of interesting that actually got past the quote unquote censors. But it's kind of a sanitized take on those early years and the, intersecting with British intelligence and, Skull and Bones and Yale and all.
They got Robert De Niro and his old wrinkly balls in his big head. What's De Niro, Mike? You are not. What are you not to do, De Niro?
You are not to talk about my gravy. You are not to talk about my mother's meatballs. Do not talk about the garlic recipe. Do not talk about the pinch of pepper in there. I will stomp you out. You better believe I'll stomp you out. Nobody believes it anymore, dude. That's it.
Yeah.
They don't.
Yeah.
Nobody wants it anymore. They're not buying it. Heat was really it, dude. That was the last,
Yeah. Yeah, he was really one of his last great movies, man. I mean, the score with Brando, Mike, they got fucking...
Come on, man. Come on.
They got him in an empty pool.
They got him in a robe down there. He was near death basically at that point, right? Brando, they had to have a crane on set to move him around, right?
Yeah, he passed away in 2004. The score came out in 2001, so it was a couple years before death. We got one of Brando's hoodies actually that he wore on the set of Scary Movie 2. It was not included in the movie, and he was too ill to do filming or a lot of filming. But through a friend of a cousin, we got the hoodie that he was wearing. I got it. We got to get it dry clean. We'll wear it for one of these.
Yeah,
we'll do one of these live streams with it. We'll do the Macarena with the with Urban Movers. With the Brando hoodie.
God, so Tripoli, Mike, he just wanted to know what dance they were doing specifically, right?
Yeah, he was wondering if it was the Macarena or like the twist or something. Or
I'm down here with Joe Rogan doing the cha-cha and the calypso.
Doing the calypso and the cha-cha down here. We're having Texas barbecue. We're down here, keeping the Austin scene alive.
I want to see Emmerich do more like comedy. I want to get him on open mics and some stand-up. And any comedy fans in the Northeast or who are in Massachusetts and New Hampshire, our friend Geneva is running a comedy venue in Manchester, New Hampshire called the Ruby Room, and it's at the Shaskeen every Wednesday. Really good, consistent, national touring acts. So it's still, live comedy is still a thing. If you want acts that are still pretty funny and pushing the limits of, freedom of speech, good place to go.
Yeah, no, looked like they had a great turnout last night, and it was a full house. So,
and she dresses up and plays Melania with you.
Yeah, she's my Melania. She's my beautiful, loving, loyal, faithful wife, Melania. And she does a great job. Yeah, we've done that together, 2 or 3 times where she's dressed up. And, it's fun. It's fun to get a Melania to go out there with me, Well, we're coming up, Mike. We've done an hour now. We're past an hour. So I don't know how long you wanted to do tonight. If you wanted to keep it right around an hour or keep going or...
Yeah, I mean, we got a couple other topics here we can touch on. If you guys...
Give me all you got. Give me all you got. Yeah, give me all your super chats. Give me all you got.
Yeah, if you guys got any other questions or super chats or, impersonation requests, maybe you want to hear Sean Atwood. Want to hear a Sean Atwood impression? We've got Mr. Ryan Dawson at the top of the hour talking about Ghislaine's shoes, Ghislaine's shoe closet, and how many pairs of shoes she's got. Dorothy slippers in there. Ghislaine's wearing Dorothy slippers. No matter how many times she clicks them, she can't get out of a jail cell. No matter how many times her gross family goes on TV to proclaim her innocence. It's not going to happen. But the trial is set for November. So we'll see. We'll see what happens, won't we?
He's like, Sean Atwood here from Atwood Unleashed. Mike, Atwood Unleashed, dude. How psych is that?
Atwood Unleashed?
At the top of the hour, we'll be joined by Mr. Ryan Dawson. He's Skyping in from Tunis in a bunker somewhere deep underground. Sean, Ha ha! Dude, Atwood's laugh.
It was so good, dude. It was everything.
When I did it for him, he was like, ha ha!
He was tickled. And Four Horsemen, you guys have been killing it, man. It's very unique. There's nothing like it.
They could try to ban the horses, Ryan, but they can't ban the Four Horsemen.
Is the ivermectin making the horses gay?
The ivermectin
is that what's happening?
The ivermectin's turning the horses gay.
Making the horses gay, folks. You know what it's doing. The ivermectin's out there. Running around. They're doing my pony, my pillow, Mike Lindell.
My pillow, my pony.
My pillow, my pony.
Oh.
What's that song? My Pony by Genuine? Yeah. That's our song.
Riding my pony.
Yeah.
Give it the ivermectin. Hillary's phony.
Yeah. Speaking of Hillary, Haiti's back in the news. I did want to touch on Haiti. And, Hillary's brother was gifted 10,000 acres of land in Haiti. Just like somebody just gifted Tony Rodman. Oh, somebody gave me the 10,000 acres. It was one of those poor people under the bridge. They're like, you can have the 10,000 acres.
God.
It's got nothing to do with the Clinton Foundation or you being brothers with Hillary. I didn't realize this, but he actually passed away a couple of years ago.
Wow. What was his name? Tony Rodman?
Tony Rodham.
Wow. Was he Crooked's older or baby brother?
He was Crooked's younger brother. She was born in 47. He was born in 54, so he was younger. And he had so many grifts off of the fact that his sister was crooked and his brother was Bill Clinton, like chestnut imports, NGOs, the Haitian, like a Haitian foundation. Like
there was no grift too small, Mike, for him.
There was no ceiling to it. There's no ceiling, and there was no floor. So, it's not every day that somebody just kind of gives you 10,000 acres in Haiti. So that's kind of a nice thing. If anybody should have gotten that acreage, it should have been Hillary Clinton's brother. I believe that.
Yeah.
For sure.
And Hillary Clinton says it takes a village. And she should know she's taken many in Haiti. Dude, when God King said that at the Al Smith dinner right to Crooked's fucking ugly face.
He was like, Your Eminence. He's up there trying to be nice initially.
Oh,
it turned ugly. Ugly so quick, dude.
That was one of the greatest things I've ever seen, Mike.
Yeah, that's why we hope that he runs again in the primary. Just and the media is missing the money, quite frankly. Let's be honest, dude. The media, you guys are.
They made so much money off God King's head, Mike.
Dude, I think so. They gave him $5 billion in free coverage. How much did they make to give him that $5 billion?
Right, Auntie Annie, Sean's such a baby-faced hero.
He's like a cute moon face. He's like the moon face in the Tonight video by Smashing Pumpkins.
Oh, we love him. We love him. Based. Yeah, this is a based first inaugural monetized live stream. We're having a lot of fun.
P1 Dizzy, I love you, P1 Dizzy.
P1 Dizzy. P1 Dizzy is the greatest. If you impersonate Dawson, do his Rittenhouse speech is up there with the Gettysburg Address as one of the most iconic oratories of our time, Mike.
Yeah, he died doing what he loved. Chasing a minor.
Fucking skate or die.
Skate or die. Well, now he has to file those disability checks with his left hand. He's a true lefty.
Yeah.
he's becoming he's become a true lefty. Oh, he's like the first guy. One of the guys he killed was a ginger. He still tried to call him for medical help. And he fell on the ground. He had a great trigger finger.
Oh, dude, his control of the firearm, Mike, was.
So it's like, so he was 17 when that happened, right? And he's being.
Yeah.
Is he being tried as an adult or like what's? I don't really know the update. I don't really follow it. I don't know.
We'll bring Dawson on in a stream the next couple of weeks. We'll do a full update.
Yeah.
How are you guys going to do without the booze for 30 days? Well, Mike is not doing without the booze. He's on it right now.
I'm doing the Bud Light as we speak, guys.
Sponsored by Bud Light and Post Malone and ivermectin.Russia. Go on Infowars.com right now. Type in Joe Rogan for 30% off your ivermectin. Shipped him from Moscow. But I'm doing
on Mountain Dew.
Thursdays.
You're on Mountain Dew right now.
Yeah, that's worse. I'm having some Mountain Dew with ivermectin mixed in it. But yeah, I'm just doing 30 days, and we're having our big 35th birthday party on October 9th, and I will be having beers that night, so they will be even better that night. Mike, he died doing what he loved, chasing a minor. Oh, God.
It's the kind of stuff that late night wishes they could write and say. I mean, they got a team of like 20 or 30 writers. They couldn't come up with anything.
Yeah,
they literally couldn't come up with anything that good.
It's called a super chat, and it looks like if you look on the chat, on the right, the live chat, there's a happy face, and then next to it looks like a dollar, or like a money thing. And if you hover over it, says "Show your support for Jackman Radio." That's how you do a super chat.
We're learning as we go along too, Andy. I'm learning how to do all this, up in the Hollywood Hills with my, closet full of shoes, looking down on the homeless. We're all learning.
I can't stand to look at the homeless anymore.
Dude, Caitlin barely broke 1% of the vote in California.
I don't believe that.
How is that even possible?
That thing was rigged. Okay, it was totally rigged. Totally rigged, just like her genitalia.
Look, we actually did win the election.
And we did win this election. Okay, if you count all the legal votes, we actually did win. Hey, first monetized stream. Congrats, Jackman Radio. Hope there's many more. Snap phase. I do too. It's been a long time coming. We've worked really hard to get this channel going and build it up and get to this point. So we appreciate your love and support. Thank you. Let's see.
A couple more chats here to go through. And
yeah.
I see some cactuses. I see some cacti.
Yep.
I see some cacti. That's like a Mario Brothers P1 Dizzy.
Yep. Well, Fire Pixie. We got some Danish cactus, folks. It's amazing. Yeah, we're having fun, so we're gonna get more guests on and do more live streams like this. We're just gonna keep it going. So I'm thinking we roll this thing down. Mike D says very entertaining. Thanks, guys. I got to drop now. D, thank you so much. We'll be doing many more of these, and we'll be seeing you. Dude, look at this super chat. Rittenhouse didn't do nothing wrong.
What is that? What is that? 500? What is that? Yen?
I don't even know what that is.
That's him, though, isn't it?
That's so good. Oh, post. Yeah, that's a good idea. I should post the Venmo link.
Yeah.
This is our first super chat, so we'll see what the numbers look like. I don't know what it's going to look like, but yeah, here's my Venmo. People want to do that, and we do have a Patreon account. I'll drop that in there too.
Yeah, this is the first one we've done, and I think it's been a lot of fun. It's been successful. Anybody who's followed what we've been doing the last 5 years, we appreciate you guys, your love and support, and we're always going to talk about the real issues that we care about, issues that we think matter in the grand scheme of things. We're going to laugh, and we're going to talk about some fluff and some soma. And because you still got to be able to laugh and have a sense of humor about everything that's going on in the world. So you're always going to see comedy from us and impressions and ridiculousness.
Yeah,
Andy, thank you so much for the super chat. Andy and Ryan, or Rena rather. I did want to touch Eric on Sirhan's possible release.
Yeah.
In California. It's now up to Gavin Newsom because for the first time, I think Sirhan has had 15 or 16 parole hearings, and this is the first time that the prosecution of the state has not shown up and opposed it. And just going by the rules and the laws in California about parole, whether you agree with them or disagree with them, Sirhan's been in there for 50 years. He was given the death sentence, which was commuted when California took that away. And he was then given the, life with the possibility of parole after Ted Kennedy sent a letter saying, don't execute him, give him life. So since then, RFK Jr. has picked up the case and the cause based on information and testimony given to him personally by Paul Schrade, who was a friend of his father's, who was actually shot in the head, was one of the survivors of the shooting in the pantry at the Ambassador in June of 1968. And since the early 70s, maybe even earlier, has called bullshit on the whole thing and fought for Sirhan's release. So if we can get into this in another live stream, and that's not to say, of course, Sirhan was in the pantry. He had a gun. He was firing. But there's so much with the case that it has been re-examined and has been studied and has been put out there. Certainly, if anyone listening is interested, I highly recommend The Second Gun, which is a documentary film from the early to mid-'70s by a journalist named Ted Chirac, award-winning film, really, really good, film that has interviews with people who are actually there, like Carl Euchre, who was a maitre d', who was walking with Bobby Kennedy, holding onto his arm when he was shot. They interviewed Thane Caesar, who many suspect was the actual gunman that fired the fatal shots. He interviews Sirhan's mother. I mean, it's a great documentary. So The Second Gun is highly recommended. Of course, Lisa Pease's book, A Lie Too Big to Fail, and Shane O'Sullivan's book, Who Killed Bobby, as well as Shane O'Sullivan's film, RFK Must Die. So there's a lot of information out there that we're not going to get into tonight for another stream, but that's a story that's in the news right now. So I wanted to bring that up and touch on that.
Yeah. It's fascinating, Mike. And that documentary with all Lisa Pease's research is going to be great. I can't wait to watch that.
Yeah.
It's going to be really good. Fire Pixie sends a sawbuck. Dawson didn't do nothing wrong.
No, you know what Dawson did? Dawson told the truth.
Yeah. Bill Gates didn't kill himself. So true.
What's going on with Bill Gates? Is he in the news now again after the interview? The interview he did on PBS? Oh, I don't know what this... I can't hear you, Eric.
$5 from Bardo Films. Cheers from Seattle. Thank you to Sloop John B. My grandfather and Rosie.
Seattle, isn't that where Dr. Evil has his lair? Corporate lair?
Yeah. Auntie Annie says, awesome job. You guys are so funny beyond. Oh.
Thanks, Auntie. Love you.
Yeah, dude, Denmark's got our back. We got the Danish people out there, folks. I love to eat Danishes. I love the Danish. Amazing stuff. So yeah, well, I think we're gonna wrap it up there. So everybody, thanks for tuning in with us tonight. We're gonna do another one of these soon. Probably we'll want to do multiple a week, or
at least once. We want to have Ryan D on soon. He'll be coming on soon, folks. Ryan D, and there'll be another Four Horsemen too.
Yeah, we're working on who we'll get for the next one for next month. But yeah, everyone, if you haven't clicked subscribe to this YouTube channel, right down there, hit that subscribe button. And I'm most active on Instagram. We have a Jackman Radio account on Instagram, and then my personal account is Senator Jackman. So give me a follow, say hi to me on there. And then I'm active on Twitter daily at Jackman Radio. And that's where we do majority of our posting and where we're most active. So really, Mike, for our first monetized stream, I just couldn't have gone any better. I'm just so psyched.
I'm very excited, and thank you again to everybody who has been supporting us since the beginning, who's here helping us, and our patrons, the folks here on the super chats and live stream. We greatly appreciate it. It keeps us going. This has been an endeavor that's been pretty much out of our out of our own pockets since the beginning, and we want to build it up even bigger and better than that, and continue to bring you entertaining and funny and informative content, and just the real story.
Yeah.
So,
absolutely. And we are going to do a Royal Rumble, the Jackman twins and the Dawson twins. That's going to happen. That would be a fun live stream that we'll do. So I'll talk to Ryan and we'll put that together for sure. That'll be a fusion of Yankee and Dixie that everyone needs, that we need, quite frankly.
That'll be grits meets clam chowder.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, yeah, thanks everyone. And Mike, thanks. This was great, dude. Always fun. And also, we're on Spotify, iTunes, Podbean. You can listen to our podcast on all there. And we put it up there. And Wonder Twin power activated. So, all right, folks. Well, we're signing off, and we'll see you next time. Take care of yourselves and each other, and keep it real.